Hey everybody, I've been wanting to make a follow-up video on the whole Godot drama situation from a few months ago just to see how it actually impacted them financially and see what effects it had on the company. Going into this though, I never would have imagined that Pirate Software was part of this conversation, so let's get right into it. What you're seeing on screen right now is a Wayback Machine snapshot of the Godot Foundation from September 15th, 2024. This was while Godot was at its absolute peak after Unity had completely blundered with its community and a lot of people were trying to find a new alternative. Now, if we go to the Godot Foundation donation page as of today, which is January 15th, we can see they are down 36% total funding with a couple major sponsors pulling out after the whole situation. If we take a look at that September 15th screenshot, we can see they had 19 different sponsors with about 1,500 other donators. Now, if we look at the current one, we can see it's down to only 15 major sponsors with still around 1,500 minor donators. But before looking into this, I never could have imagined who one of the sponsors that pulled out actually was. If you look in the third tier down, we can see that Pirate Software was a sponsor in the September 15th screenshot and is now not a sponsor as of January 15th, 2025. Now, this normally wouldn't be that big of a deal, except for the fact that he made 2 videos on the topic saying how the whole thing wasn't a big deal and that this was just a super blown out of proportion issue. And maybe he stopped funding for financial reasons or something else, but his career is doing better than ever, so I imagine that he wouldn't have a hard time keeping up the same donation that he did from the previous year. Now, originally this video was going to have nothing to do with Pirate Software and was going to be more about things like this Godot employee who were saying that, oh, our funding's actually up, this event was actually a good thing for us, which is the most short-sighted thinking I'd ever seen, and I just wanted to poke fun a little bit at some of the Godot Foundation ridiculousness. Any intelligent person could have understood that within a few weeks, when more people saw this drama, including the large companies that were funding the Godot organization, it wasn't going to be a good situation. However, with Pirate Software showing his true colors recently, I wanted to show that he has not been the best person for a while. He's always been a bit of a narcissist and had a crazy ego. And I'm going to show some clips that are just him being blatantly wrong about this whole situation.
Problem with the Godot community manager? You mean the moderator that doesn't work for Godot and isn't actually part of Godot in any possible way, nor on payroll? Because they're a moderator for a community Discord, and then everyone said that they were a lead moderator for Godot, and lost their minds on Twitter. The actual community manager, there wasn't anything wrong with the actual community manager. The only thing that happened was there was a person that made a bunch of really negative statements, really bad statements. And then everyone jumped on Godot because this person was a mod for a fan Discord. Not for Godot, but the fan Discord is Godot Cafe, which is not the official Discord.
So this was just extremely disingenuous because doing a tiny bit of research, and even in the Twitter threads that he was going through actually said this, the official Godot website linked to this community Discord, the new official Discord, is only about 5 months old, and this old Discord was the official Discord linked on the Godot website before this. Super easy to find. Here's a screenshot of a Godot forum post where someone's linking to both of the Discords after they were up. As recent as August, they still had this on their website.
What your soapbox is for, I like playing video games, and I like talking about video games, and I like critiquing video games and sharing those with the community and teaching you how to make stuff and encouraging you to do so. Nothing outside of that matters to me. I don't care where you were born. I don't care what your spawn point is. I don't care what your sexuality is, your gender identity. None of that shit matters to me because, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter because your creativity is all that matters. That's it. Nothing else. And the moment you bring that in and you try to say that that matters more than anything else, I don't want to hear that shit. Because you should not be restricted or encouraged based on anything other than your ability to create things and your kind of drive to create stuff.
So I just wanted to include this one. It's the end of his first video, and it's literally just the complete opposite of everything else he said. He just goes on contradicting himself completely. I have no idea why he said this, but he's totally right. But I guess he kind of believes it, but also kind of doesn't. I just don't get the flip-flopping back and forth.
After going through all of the statements and reading everything, I found a whole bunch of top comments that were on there, and unfortunately I had to delete a whole bunch of them. The reason why is because people were just saying a bunch of hateful shit. Instead of just wanting to discuss the situation, they paired it up with a whole bunch of personal attacks. And to be real with you, I always get rid of those because those suck. If you want to...
Okay, so this one's just annoying since it's something all React YouTubers do, but just show proof of these things. Show the receipts. That's all you have to do. It's not that hard. Just show a little proof and then people will believe you a lot longer.
Right. It wasn't. It was not the Discord moderator that started all of this. It was a couple of tweets. And the thing is, I didn't think they were that big of a deal, so we didn't talk about them in the first video. It was context that I left out because it's sort of irrelevant. And we're going to go into why. This was the tweet from Godot. This is the flashpoint that started everything that everybody was mad about. Apparently game engines are woke now? Well then, we won't complain. Rainbow emoji. Show us your hashtag Wokot games below. This is not that big of a deal. This is a really milquetoast post.
So here's more of that flip-flopping I was talking about. Literally just says the exact opposite of what he said in his first video. It's crazy, and I don't get how anyone can't see that this guy just goes back and forth on everything and just says what he thinks people want to hear.
The guy who was the titanium level backer was banned for telling him to keep out of politics. He did tell him to keep out of politics. Except he didn't just do it on Twitter. And it wasn't that one tweet that did this. He spammed them across all of their social medias, everywhere he possibly could. He tried to shit stir everywhere. And then they banned him for it.
Again, just show the receipts, my man. No one else has showed anything with this guy talking anywhere but Twitter, and he was a very high backer. He actually commented on the video I made, and he is the real deal. He was a titanium backer. He got banned off Twitter, and I haven't heard that he was harassing them anywhere else, so just show receipts of that. It's that easy.
Hey, man. Just because you're a financial backer doesn't give you a right to act like a jackass. And if you're shit-stirring inside of a community, of course they're going to get rid of you. That happens anywhere. It's not a freedom of speech problem. It's you being a jackass. It's the same thing that's going to happen if you walk into your friend group and just start shouting at people. They're not going to hang out with you anymore. Same shit on the internet. It's really not that hard to understand.
So this clip is just too perfect with all the World of Warcraft drama right now, where he literally says exactly what happened to him, where, yeah, start shit, get hit, it's going to happen. No one's going to want to talk to you or play with you, and that's exactly what happened to Pirate. So I just thought that was funny that he's been saying this for many months back.
To be real with you, all this looks like a whole bunch of bullshit traveling faster on the internet. And it looks like a whole bunch of people just taking things at face value and believing them out of hand. Trust but verify. Trust that people are telling the truth, and then verify their claim. And if you can't verify the claims that people are making on the internet, stop spreading them to others. It's making you and everyone else dumber by doing this.
And one last clip of more of the same, where it's just, you got to show your proof too, man. You can't just talk about the situation and pretend like you know everything without showing any receipts or proof. It's kind of crazy. He does for a couple of the topics, but as I showed some of these, he's just blatantly wrong about, or some he just glosses over like he knows everything. It's nuts. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Bit of an update on the Godot situation. They are really not doing well financially compared to where they were. It's interesting to see. I don't like the whole go woke, go broke thing. I think that's a dumb way to say it. There's plenty of woke companies that make money. There's plenty of super conservative companies that make money. But for most people, if you start putting politics on your public pages and start talking about that, it's not going to end well. This is another example of that we can see.